Thank you, Susan, and I'm really happy that the technical issues were solved. Sorry about that. I think we've all been victims of that over the past year and a half, and I look forward to the day that we aren't spending our days in front of a small screen, hopefully soon. But to begin, I really appreciate this opportunity to kind of address this group. I'm actually pretty honored about it. And as I think about what Varun was just sharing with us, I mean, he was really talking about the technologies that are available to both the United States as well as the European Union and how to collaborate on them to, quite frankly, drive this challenge against climate change. My talk here is going to be a little bit on the more practical side, and it's really about how myself and our company, but also many of the AmCham member companies are trying to harness that technology and apply them to problem solving here in the European Union in order to improve our businesses, but at the same time, obviously reduce our carbon footprint. So I begin by asking the simple question, how do we as a company and how do all of the member companies in AmCham continue to provide innovative products and services to the citizens and companies in the European Union while being better stewards for the environment and help combat climate change? Well, I'll share with you some examples that are around the region on how we're doing that. But to begin, obviously the Green Way will require practical solutions for today while driving aspirational thinking for tomorrow to take advantage of those future technologies to solve this thorny question. We'll need to learn together across sectors and leverage the best practices that are within each of our industries, but quite frankly, offered to us as a society within Europe and across the Atlantic to be successful. As part of the Greenway project, we at AmCham are creating an inventory of best practices to help educate as well as inspire both members and non-members alike. Susan and her team have done a great job of compiling a library of examples on the Greenway site, which Susan spoke about during her introduction. And I encourage everyone on this call to browse that site to see the many of the examples that I'll review today. Now, AmCham and its partners and its members have been committed partners to battling climate change, and we continue to invest to reduce our carbon footprint despite the incredible challenges that the business environment has produced for all of us in the past year and a half. Under AmCham's leadership, we've leveraged opportunities like the recent EU-USA summit that Susan was referring to in her remarks, as well as the ongoing transatlantic dialogue that bring key EU leaders together with those of us in the business community to identify opportunities and solutions together. Now, most large companies investing in Europe today have conducted in one way or another a life cycle analysis, or an LCA, of their operations to understand their own carbon footprint and then identify how to adjust processes or practices to lower carbon emissions in their end-to-end business. One of the first areas that many look at, but especially in the industrial sector that I'm in, is our energy usage and purchase. This work has led to the development of the supply of energy from renewable sources in order to eliminate the natural gas or coal-fired generation sources that many of us use today. It may surprise many on this call that American companies operating in Europe have made more than half of the long-term renewable energy agreements that have been concluded in Europe since 2007. And when our member companies are not sourcing renewable energy, we're contributing directly to making it with world-leading renewable energy generating technologies like the ones that Varun was referring to. We have member companies who are driving the hydrogen revolution with our electrochemical technologies that turn water into hydrogen molecules to power transport, industrial processes, power, and even heating. Our members in the financial sector are not absent from the effort as well. Our financial sector members are committing ever more portions of their investment portfolios to sustainable projects and ensuring their investments into capital or equity projects reward companies that are reducing their carbon footprint. And we also have tech and innovation companies in our membership who are using the powers of 5G and blockchain technologies to better integrate renewable energy into the grid, as well as use artificial intelligence and smart sensors to detect leaks of harmful gases in early warning systems. Now, we at Goodyear have been operating in Europe for a little bit over 70 years, having established our first factory as part of the Marshall Plan after the Second World War. That initial investment has now grown into a €5.5 billion turnover business with 13 EU-based factories 4 innovation and product development centers, and employing over 20,000 associates. We consider Europe as a strategic center for innovation, given the sophistication of our automotive, commercial truck, and aviation customers in the region. In recent years, due to the passion and leadership which Europe has displayed in the climate change battle, including the commitment being made by the governments in Europe, as well as the citizens of the European Union, to advance the Green Deal and circular economy, our region has become a thought leader in developing sustainable solutions, not just for my company and industry, but throughout industry in Europe. In 2020, Goodyear was able to reduce its greenhouse gas emissions across all of our operations by 20% as compared to a 2010 baseline. We viewed that as a good start. I'm proud to share that we recently announced that we're working together with an energy supplier called Innovos, a European company, to build 2 large solar power stations at our R&D Innovation Center in Kommerberg, Luxembourg, which will provide clean energy for our R&D facilities there, our factory, as well as our offices throughout Luxembourg, as well as provide excess energy to the Luxembourg citizens who are our neighbors. When finished, both stations will produce annually about 5 gigawatts of electric power and reduce carbon emissions by around 50,000 tons over the next 20 years, while providing clean energy for nearly 1,200 households annually. By the end of 2021, we will source 100% of all of our electricity needs in the 13 tire plants and our 40 offices around Europe, accessing green energy sources, saving approximately 300 tons of CO2. And we don't expect to do this all alone. In 2020, furthering our commitment to build the future mobility of Goodyear Ventures, we established a $100 million fund dedicated to accelerating future solutions that help increase sustainability, not just in us as a company, but in our industry, to make life connections easier every day. To articulate Goodyear's role in the future of mobility, we focused on developing great products and services that anticipate and respond to the needs of our consumers. In 2020, one of the most important things to our customers was a reduction in rolling resistance. Now, rolling resistance is a measure of friction between your tire and the road. The reason this is important is because the rolling resistance of a tire could change the energy efficiency of a vehicle by up to 10%. And it positively contributes to that vehicle's fuel efficiency, as well as being critically important in helping electric vehicles in Europe maximize their range and efficiency. Last but not least, by 2030, we aim to develop a 100% sustainable material and maintenance-free tire. Now, these projects are our contribution to the Green Way, but obviously they're just one of many inside AmCham. And these projects are never ending. It will take teamwork and commitment by all of us to make them happy. While the political ambition of the Green Deal may be new, the research, innovation, expertise, and investments from the private sector has long been paving the way for the Green Way in Europe's sustainable future. And as business leaders, we see great opportunities ahead for both multinational companies, but with strong transatlantic relations being essential to that success. With a shared vision on how to tackle climate change, political leaders on both sides of the Atlantic play a crucial role in ensuring an enabling regulatory environment. It will take all of us working together and learning from one another to drive the Green Way. Thank you very much for listening today, and I very much look forward to hearing the panel discussion and learning more about EU's role and all of our role in helping drive a more sustainable future. Thank you, Susan.
Thank you so much, Chris, for that. I think it's always one of the most valuable things we can do, which is to hear the case studies and the actual examples of what businesses are doing. And I mean, I learned a lot from that. Really impressive of the figures and especially this maintenance-free tire, Chris. As somebody who's got to have my tire repaired tomorrow, and I've got an appointment for that, I would love a maintenance-free tire, as well as one from sustainable materials. So I noted that down. But in all seriousness, thank you very much. But
you're welcome, Susan. And Susan, we'll reserve one for you, first one off the line.
I'm not joking. I had a nail in it at the weekend. So yeah, thanks for that. But it's really good to hear firsthand from businesses. I hope the audience appreciated that too. I mean, I think also importantly, Chris, you really elucidated why it's so important for regulators also to have open dialogue with industry if we're going to get the regulatory frameworks right going forward. So it's exactly what we need. And if we are going to have any success in tackling the global scale problem of climate change, also, as we heard from Varun, we need transatlantic cooperation on this. So absolutely essential. So with that, Chris, thank you so much. And as always, looking forward to continuing the work with you.